Hello YouTube, what's going on? It's me, Ghostly Gamer, back here again with another video. So today I decided, I had a weird dream last night. I just wanted to try and share it in some way. Actually, realistically speaking, I'm probably not even going to upload this. But, so getting into it. Let me try and remember the details because this is a really weird dream. So, my dream happened between the time of... Not to sneeze. Guess not. My dream happened between the time of 6:28 and 6:59, and I had about what felt like a 2-hour dream, which that's really cool in my opinion. So I start off, and in my dream, I remember I'm getting some sort of branding put onto me. You know, like how it used to happen, like cowboys would brand cattle, make it theirs. All that sort of thing happened with me. And if I can remember correctly, I think my number was 752, or no, 657. It had a 6 and then a 5, I think. And I'm uncertain what the last number was, so let's just go with 657. So I'm guessing I was in prison, and I asked the warden. I said, "What does that number read? Like, what is it?" Because in my dream I couldn't read it. And I think he said something along the lines of, "You'll find out soon enough." I don't remember. And in any case, I'm basically like this busboy. Not busboy. That's not it. I'm like a janitor for the school, not the school, the prison. Okay. So I've gotten a branding that says 652, and I'm a janitor for the prison, but I'm still a prisoner in the prison, if you can understand that. So I decide that I'm gonna get out of here, and I make a riot happen. I start a riot, and riot starts, and then I'm walking behind one of the wardens, and I just know that he has the key on him. So I grab a stick or something I found on the ground, like a fairly thick stick, about like, I think that thick-ish. And I hit him with that a couple times. The first like 4 or 5 strikes did nothing to him. It didn't even register with him that he got hit. And then it was the 6th or 7th hit that he just flopped on the ground and died. I'm guessing. I grabbed his baton, the keys, and I just like pulled them close to my body and they just disappeared. So I'm guessing I put them into my inventory then. There's one guard up on the 2nd level, and ow. There's one guard up on the 2nd, you know what, hang on, give me a second. Alright. So there's a guard up on the 2nd level, and he's looking down through like binoculars or a sniper rifle or something, and he's like scoping out the area, looking for me. At least that's what I heard over the intercom or PA system. And I don't remember what my name was, but I remember something about like, I'm literally the most wanted person in the entire world. And for some reason, if anyone says purgatory around me, then they instantly know who I am and start chasing me to get me back in prison. So it's some weird thing that's going on with everybody. I guess I'm supposed to be executed in the prison or something. But in any case, I start walking out of the prison, and I've got this huge mob of prisoners with me. And we start moving, and Oh, there she is. And we start moving, and the group is going this way, and there's this little I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know what it looked like, but it's got like these you know like those metal, yeah, the metal bike rack things that I guess police sometimes use as barriers. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And I start walking towards that, and I see this woman with, I think it was 3 kids, but only one kid ever does anything. The other 2 just stand there like they're completely lifeless. And the one kid who actually did anything, she was holding her mom's hand with, or at least who I'm assuming is her mom. She was holding the woman's hand with her left hand, and stared at me with these blank eyes. And I'm saying like blank, like there was nothing to them except just this little pattern of gray. Like, you know how you guys all have color in your eye? You got the black and then the color of your eye. No, you got the color of your eye and then the black to your pupil. There was no pupil. There was no color to the eye except just gray. And she just stares at me and slowly raises a finger pointing at me. And I'm trying to think like who this is, and then it turns out that this girl is actually my daughter, and the woman was actually my wife. So it's really confusing for me. So my wife explains to me how I can't stay with them. I need to leave and get away from this place. And so I say, okay, where can I go? And she says something about Dr. Started with an M, I think. Dr. Matthew, maybe? I don't remember. And I start walking away, and she says something along the lines of, I don't know what she said, but she said purgatory and one of that. And this one guy, he's walking by, and I guess it was like 1980s or something, because people had like fedoras on, like that brown formal wear. And he stops dead in his tracks, looks around, makes sure there's people around him, and then says, "What? Purgatory? Did you say purgatory?" This man, no, he said, and he like just starts yelling out purgatory. And all of a sudden, this huge crowd of people just piles around him and starts staring at me. And I know that in my dream, I'm about to be like, what is it? Mobbed, for lack of better words, because I can't think of anything else. And so I start running away. Okay? And as I'm running, I lose all sensation of time. I lose all perception of time, all perception of direction, that even I exist for a few minutes. And I'm not lying to you. These are the slowest minutes I've ever felt in my life. Like, I felt like I was in that prison for a few days at least. The 5 minutes that I was just running away from this crowd of people, I felt like I was doing that for months. Like, it's amazing, honestly, how the human mind can just make you lose all perception of time. And so that way your dreams can last these absurd amount of times. I don't remember a single thing from that 5 minutes that I was running away, but I know that it was, mentally, it was the most taxing thing I've ever felt. And I can't explain anything further than that, because that would be just a stretch of the truth. And so the 5 minutes are finally done. Finally. And I'm in this woods. And from what I can remember, basically I had lost like a lot of muscle mass, a lot of bone mass. My bones had thinned up. I was losing a lot of muscle, and my skin was starting to turn like a really pale gray, like a really sharp gray sort of thing. What do I got? Actually, right here, this pattern, the lightest gray on my pants. That's about. Oh, here we go. This is actually perfect. It was actually about like this color. My skin was turning this color, and I basically lost the function of being able to stand on two legs. So I'm no longer bipedal, I'm quadrupedal, I think that's the term. I'm basically crawling on all fours, like I'm a dog or a bear or something like that. And I'm just crawling along, trying to find this doctor's house, apparently. And I'm just crawling on for about 20-30 seconds. And I can only do it for about that long at each interval because of how tiring it is. I mean, it makes sense. I don't have any muscle to do anything. And that's when, like, the thought just flickers into my mind that it was the prison was what was keeping me alive since I had that branding on. I don't know how I made this connection. Actually, no, I didn't think about the branding. I thought it was just the prison that was keeping me alive. And since I had left it, I was slowly starting to die. Well, not slowly, I was actually rather quickly starting to die. And so I'm just desperately crawling along the ground in the forest, trying to find this doctor's place. And I finally do. And I felt like an unimaginable joy upon seeing this place, despite not knowing what it was. And I go inside the place, and oh jeez, this is difficult to describe. The moment that I stepped inside that house, like, for context, I didn't even knock on the door. I didn't even open the door. I didn't even touch the door, actually. I just phased straight through it. And the moment that I stepped inside, all the joy left me, and I just felt a horrible sense of dread as I slowly started to, like, regain my strength and, like, basically I went back to normal. And I just knew that I'm back in the prison. Something going on with the prison. I see this ladder, and there's this black thing. Not racist. It wasn't a person. It was just this black entity, I guess, for lack of better words that I can think of. And it was just standing with its... I don't know how I knew this, but it was standing with its hands behind its back, you know, like, I guess, not butlers, the elevator, those guys who operate elevators, like, they'll stand with their hands behind their backs, like this, like, I'm gonna show you, like this. Yeah, that's how it was standing, despite I couldn't see any features about it at all. And then I somehow knew that it took one hand out and slowly pointed at the ladder, which was telling me to go down or wait. And so I decided to wait, and the thing became more frustrated, and it lowered down the other hand and pointed again at the ladder. And at this point in the dream, I'm on the verge of tears. I don't know why, but I just felt like this horrible sense of evil that was just coming up the ladder. And I see somebody come up the ladder. I don't know who, but they came up with a soldier of sorts, and I look at it, and in my dream, and in any case, it's past me. It's my past self. I was in the military or the army in this dream. And as I'm looking at this thing, I just start to get even more and more saddened by looking at it, or well, me. And this other person, I guess, just stares at me and says in the most monotone voice I've ever heard. It says, "Welcome back." It's not a good how he said it, but he just says, "Welcome back," and then my vision slowly fades to black. I'm talking slowly, and the entire time I'm panicking as this is happening because I just feel myself dying. And when I wake up, I remembered nothing about my dream. I didn't even remember that I had a dream. It wasn't until breakfast was over that I slowly started to remember myself having my dream. Right now it's about 7:56 in the morning. So that's the weird dream I had. That's the longest dream I've ever had, actually. And yeah, it was definitely very mentally tiring. I don't feel like I got that much good sleep, thanks to just a half hour of weird dream I had. In any case, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, like the video and let me know down in the comments below. If you want to, subscribe to keep up to date with my channel. I do a lot of cool stuff. Not like this. This wasn't really all that cool, but I do a bunch of other cool stuff as well with my channel, so subscribe and click that bell notification to keep up to date with me. Have a nice day.